Every breath counts. This National Lung Month, we highlight how the air impacts the air, or rather, how the air we breathe impacts our health. Now, with rising pollution, more Filipinos are at risk of lung diseases, including cancer. Today, Dr. Jubert Benedicto from the Lung Center of the Philippines joins us to explain how pollution affects our lungs and what we can do to protect ourselves and stay healthy. Magandang umaga, Dr. Benedicto. Welcome to Beautiful Day.
Hi, good morning, Paolo, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Doc, let's start off first with how air pollution affects our lungs and overall health. Kasi palagi natin sinasabi that it isn't just those first-hand smokers or maybe mga vapors. There are those environmental factors that could lead to serious diseases like lung cancer. How does that happen and what do we have to consider about yung environment po natin when it comes to yung lung health?
Yeah, that's very much true, Paolo. So we have to think that each breath we take is, of course, it's a mixture of the air that we take in. And this means the air quality is really a main determinant po para sa kalusugan din ng baga. So you can just imagine if, let's say, you're taking each breath. Let's say you are breathing around 16 to 20 breaths per minute. Hindi ka pa niya nag-exercise, ha? And then you will note and you should be aware na kung pangit yung quality ng air na na-inhale mo. So,
Hi, Doc. So right now we're having a problem with your audio, but of course we're again talking to or trying to get back on the line si Dr. Jubert Benedicto from the Lung Center of the Philippines, again as part of our celebration, rather our observance of National Lung Month. Doc, I think we have you back here. Of course, you did mention a while ago na around 16 to 20 or so breaths per minute na wala pang exercise nun. We do take in a lot of air and a lot of pollutants kasama doon. Let's talk about yung mga specific pollutants na kailangan talagang i-observe or be worried about. We hear terms like PM2.5, nitrogen dioxide, and ozone. Can you explain what type of pollutants we actually have to watch out for in terms of yung lung health natin?
Definitely, Paolo, those are the things that we are monitoring on the ground. So you mentioned yung nitrous oxide, yung mga PM2.25. So measurement lang po ito ng mga dust, let's say sa air and particulate materials. And definitely po, pag pumasok yan sa baga, poor quality of air, that will incite inflammation in the lungs and in our airway, and that will lead to certain diseases po.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you mentioned it a while ago, may particle size po yan. And we always hear about it when it comes from our local governments, talking about yung air quality. Ano nga ba yung difference ng PM10, PM2.5, and why does it matter?
Definitely po, both will matter because you have to understand our air passages are equipped with defense mechanism. So nafi-filter po ng nose yan if it's too large, and then subsequently if it goes down our air passages, we do have some mechanisms in place to make sure that it's trapped there. It does not go all the way sa lungs. However, as the particulate matters become smaller, PM2.5, yan na po yung naglalodge sa peripheral airways natin, sa baga po natin. And definitely, once this happens, these are the ones which exposes the lungs to possibly dirty air or dirty particles that can incite inflammation and certain diseases.
Mm-hmm. Doc, the European Respiratory Society says that tiny particles like yung PM10 at gases like nitrogen dioxide can actually cause and exacerbate diseases like COPD in particular. Doc, when we talk about that type of disease and of course how air quality affects people with COPD, just how much more careful should we be around yung polluted air?
Definitely, these are very important information. So what we are trying to say that each time it's poor quality of air, then it goes down all the way sa lungs. This will incite inflammation, which leads to damages in the airway, especially the lungs. That's why it was proven already that such air quality can give rise to diseases such as COPD or what we commonly term as emphysema. Dahil po sa intense inflammation, intense poor quality of air, this will possibly, strain your defense mechanism in the lungs, and definitely this will lead to destruction. Kaya po siya nagkaka-emphysema, kaya po tayo nagkakaroon ng COPD. So these are the things that we watch out for. Uh, Asthma exacerbations is also on the rise because of poor quality of air. Even, let's say, pneumonia. So those are the diseases attributed to poor air quality.
Now, in the same study that we mentioned a while ago, Doc, researchers also found that people living near mga busy roads or polluted areas are more likely to develop yung mga lung problems sa ganito. If we're also seeing that a bit here in the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken, especially that's urban sprawl natin dito sa Metro Manila in particular. How do we address living in situations like this to be able to take care of your lung health natin?
Work and from school that is tied to poor quality of air. So you are right in saying that once you live in a busy street, in possibly in an urban setting, a lot of air traffic, a lot of land traffic goes in there. Yes, it can lead to certain absenteeism. If not, it will reduce your productivity. How do we prevent it? Well, number one, from our end, definitely yung mga nakokontrol natin, stop smoking. Do not already contribute to the poor air quality. Number two is possibly your vehicles. So as much as possible po, maging maganda po sana ang quality ng vehicles natin so that we won't contribute to the smoke emission. And definitely po, the way we live, no, the way we live. Iwasan po natin yung mga pagsiga, no, yung mga open fire, open pit, and then possibly the way we take care of ourselves. So if you know that the air quality is poor, maybe mask can possibly guard you against, let's say, possible attacks of COPD or asthma. And then there's always that possibility of prevention, of course. Huwag ka na lang lumabas pag masyadong poor yung quality of air, especially if you have underlying lung diseases.
Doc, you mentioned a while ago, hopefully stopping smoking will actually help save your lungs directly. Pero a lot of people also talk about yung mga secondhand smoke when it comes to vaping and when it comes to smoking as well. Should that also be considered when talking about yung air quality, especially from a very specific and localized setting?
Certainly, no? Certainly. So anything that we can do, siguro nga, we will start with the air around us. So the vaping pandemic is already, should be already addressed already. Kasi nakita nyo naman the amount of smoke that comes from vape devices, no? So definitely secondhand smoke, even coming not just from cigarette, but from vape, has really dangers, especially to one's health, if not contributing already to the poor air quality.
And of course, there are certain demographics that I think we can consider as more at risk. Yung mga children, seniors, or people with pre-existing conditions. When you talk about those particular demographics, how do they live in under this type of situation kung saan minsan talagang air quality is not up to the standard that they should be having to protect themselves?
Definitely, you have hit the nail on the head, Paulo. We certainly look at certain age group as more vulnerable. So extremes of age, the elderly, the children, those with underlying lung diseases. How should they take care of their lung health, especially in conditions na hindi nga nila control yung lahat ng contributors sa poor air quality? So number one, siguro prevention. So definitely, if they do have maintenance medications like inhalers, I would highly advise them to please be compliant and maging masunurin po sa ating maintenance na gamot. That's number one. Number two is don't already challenge kung yung lung health mo. So if you think the air quality is poor and it's really tied to your attacks, huwag ka na lang muna lumabas pag napaka-poor ng air quality. Number three, siguro is vaccination can help. So we are talking about your annual flu vaccine or your pneumonia vaccine as well. This could really help in preventing infectious exacerbations of or infectious attacks of your diseases.
Well, we talk about yung mga early signs that you may have a pollution-related lung problem. What symptoms should they watch out for? And of course, syempre may sinasabi naman ng iba, oy, konting ubo lang yan, that they don't really mind it, mawawala din yan. Pero minsan tumatagal rin eh. So what can people do or what should people watch out for that they should be concerned about, especially when it comes to pollution-related lung problems?
Well, definitely number one, ang napapansin po nila, they will more or less be observant that their symptoms increase in severity tsaka frequency. They are more prone to attacks once that, let's say, the air quality dips. No? So they will see it, let's say, after New Year. Di po ba, pag maraming nagpapaputok, firecrackers and everything, they will tell you, I feel bad each time I go out of the house during December 31 hanggang mga January 2 yan. So it's really tied down to the quality of air. Number two is because they know yung range ng symptoms nila, they do know if it's their bad day. So they should be monitoring their bad day and what triggers their bad day. And then subsequently, they do have doctors to advise them what to take or where to go in terms of pag sumusobra na po yung attack. So we frequently look at the frequency of the cough. It becomes more symptomatic. Yung associated symptoms like let's say breathlessness, mas nagiging productive yung cough. Those are the things that one should watch out for.
Does rain actually help the air become cleaner? Kasi it is the rainy season and some people hope and assume na pati yung air natin malilinisan apart from whichever else as affected by the rainy weather?
So I think it's more of the wind, no, rather than the air itself. So sometimes, in fact, because of yung sudden rainfall, in fact, it will tend to exacerbate certain diseases like your asthma or your COPD. Kasi yung kalidad din ng hangin, di po ba, minsan sasabihin ng patient, ayaw nila yung parang basak na quality ng air. Tapos yun ang nagsusumpong sa kanila, no? Nung exacerbations nila or attacks. So it's really more of yung wind siguro associated with the rainy condition that will cleanse the air.
Doc, we're running out of time, but before we let you go, syempre, some people are concerned with yung air quality nila sa sarili nilang bahay or their workplaces. When you talk about controlling yung air quality within closed spaces, especially indoors, sa bahay, sa opisina, what can you suggest that families or employers could do to improve indoor air quality and, of course, help take care of everyone's lung health wherever they are?
Yes, very good question. So maybe they should be the one to, implement certain measures to improve ventilation. So open your window kung meron po tayong mga fans and everything. So gawin po nating unilaminar yung
It looks like we're having a hard time with Dr. Benedicto. Unfortunately, when he was giving great advice on indoor air quality. But of course, hopefully you can all check online for more advice on the Philippine Lung Center as well, especially considering that it is the National Lung Month. So hopefully we can spread more awareness as well. I think Doc is back. Doc, before we let you go, can we have that piece of advice really quickly para lang malaman ng mga viewers natin what they could do to take care of themselves at home or in the office?
Yes. So improve ventilation, open your windows, and then have a unilaminar flow so yung flow po ng hangin palabas. Those are the things that are within your control.
Dr. Benedicto, maraming salamat po. Hopefully we can have you live instead next time around because it has been an interesting conversation.
Looking forward to a live discussion with you.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
Doc.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your insights. Maraming salamat po. Have a great day.